Well, good morning. After a few short hours of sleep last night, we're back rolling again. Got the grain truck dumped this morning. Semi's being dumped right now, I think, and I'm opening up the next field. But this is kind of the corn that really kills an average up along the trees. Just not much to be had here. It's making 55 bushel right here, so not really that great of corn. It's kind of hard to keep your average up high when you're in crap like this. So you can see that the deer and raccoons and everything else have pretty much annihilated what little was there, and they've done it inside well into the end rows as well. So kind of one of them fields that I'm not expecting much out of. This corn looks kind of wet. It was piling up in the hopper awful bad, but it may just be it rained a little bit last night. I'm kind of thinking that it was just the stalks were still a little bit wet. When I go through the combine, it's kind of setting up, but I am noticing a few more leaves and stems in here than usual, so I might close down on my sieve a little bit. I've got my fan running as fast as I want to run it, just because the corn's dry, and when the corn's dry, if you run your fan too fast, you start blowing it out the back, especially only running a 6-row head on this thing. It's just not really keeping it full all the time, so I might close down my screen a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what this next hopper does, but the stalks are still kind of wet. I'm not getting near the speed I normally do. Normally I can run about 6 miles an hour, but I'm only running about 4.5 this morning, which is fine. We're still getting something done. So we've got these two bins full. That bin still likes about 3,000 bushel, and I'd say we're going to fill this one. So I'll pretty much use every single bushel here. I did have some corn. This bin was completely full, but it had some corn that was a little wet, so I went ahead and poured it, and I hauled 4 loads out of it. Then I put a load back in just to kind of level it up so it wasn't toned down. But yeah, it's been really handy having this leg. Otherwise, we would be way behind on shelling corn. Pretty neat place though. Getting her done. Slowly but surely. I tell you what, these stupid farmers are always in the way when you're trying to get down the road. And look at them, they just park in the middle of the road like they own it or something. I'll show this guy, I'll just go around. Well, there it is. My last field. Last field. My last field, not the last field, but my last field for the year. After this, we've got 15 acres of corn on the guy that I help, and when we get that 15 acres knocked out, we'll be completely done. So life's going to be good. We should knock that 15 acres out tonight if we don't have any problems. Well, here it is, folks. Final round. Got one more pass over there and we are done. Well, I'm done. We'll knock out that 15 acres real quick and we'll be completely done with harvest for the year. And that's going to feel good. Well, here we are. It's going to feel really good to get to the end of this pass. Don't fail me now, honey. Don't fail me now. We have got 50 foot to go, and I am done with my corn and my soybeans for the year. So it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel real good. I think we can make it. I think we can make it. And that's it. So that is a wrap. We are done. We are gonna run to the farm, throw a little bit of fuel in this thing and a little bit of hydraulic oil. I do have a leak right now. It's not a major one, so we're not gonna worry about it. We got 15 acres left and plenty of hydraulic oil. We're gonna send it. We're gonna get done tonight. I know exactly where it's leaking. It's got a little pinhole and a hose. It's not something I can tighten right now, so we'll get to that after the 15 acres and hope that it holds together. I also have 2 snapping reels. One of them is loose in that far left row right there. It's got just a little bit of play in it, so I know it's on its last leg too. But you know what, with 15 acres left, we're just gonna send it. We're gonna get it done and hope that it holds together. We got all winter, all spring, and all summer to get that fixed before next year, so that'll be a good wintertime project. I would say that that is in the gearbox, which I've had those gearboxes apart. They're not terribly complicated, but I don't know, I have to open up that gearbox to see what's going on in there. But other than that, 15 acres, we're done. So life's good. All right, well, everything is fueling up. I grabbed some more hydraulic oil and I'm gonna dump that in the combine real quick and hook some things up and get some things put up, because we're supposed to get 2 to 3 inches of rain tomorrow, or tonight actually, and into tomorrow. And then these things are never fun when they seize up, but we're supposed to get the rain, and then it's supposed to rain pretty much all next week, so we're dry as a bone. I'll get completely done with harvest, and then it can rain as much as it wants. I'd like to get some fall tillage done, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. Now, while I'm putting some stuff up around here and getting the combine halfway patched back together to do the last 15 acres, he's gonna take the semi. I've still got about 2,000 bushels that needs to be dumped in the leg between what's on the semi, the 10-wheeler, and the grain cart right now. So he's headed out, and I'm gonna put the head up just so it doesn't get rained on. I usually like to spray the head down with used motor oil before I put them up for the year. That way the knife doesn't rust up on them. But haven't got around to doing that yet, so I'll at least get it in the shed. Well, unfortunately, I think that last 15 acres is gonna have to wait tonight. It is pouring down rain west of here at the grain leg, he said. He just got the semi unloaded, and I was on my way back home, just moving everything home. That 15 acres is right down the road from the farm. So I was moving everything home, getting everything put in sheds that we weren't getting ready to use tonight, and it's starting to rain pretty hard here now too, unfortunately. And he said it's absolutely pouring in town, so I guess we're gonna have to wait a few days, but that's okay. We'll figure out where that hydraulic leak's at on the combine, get that fixed, get it fixed right. I don't know if you can hear it now, but it's really, really raining. Got this in. All I've got left to put up, I went ahead and backed the Pioneer Way Wagon into the shop. The grain truck's still got a load of corn on it, and that seed tender is full of cover crop rye right now that hopefully this rain will get started going on the stuff that I've got spread. So we're gonna put the Steiger in the shop and the combine in the machine shed back here, and pretty much everything will be put up. First, we're gonna put the dogs up because my wife will kill me if I don't. Come on. Okay, they're situated. wet paws and all. Come on. Let's go in here. Get this old girl in the shed. Fits like a charm. Windshield wiper is obnoxious. What we're gonna do is shut that off, pick the corn head up, and set it on top of the tongue of the wagon. Make sure we're pretty much completely in. Yep, she ain't gonna get rained on. And as you can see, my auger light keeps adjusting itself, pointing up, shining at the airplanes. So if you're a pilot, well, it's not intentional, I promise. I better shut my monitors off before I drain my batteries, considering they're brand new and all. We'll pull the semi up just a little bit, and then we can get the Magnum in here. Well, this is the first time that both big horses, both big tractors, have been back at the farm together in a while. They look shiny now that they're rained on, but I promise they're not. Just getting them put up here. Got the ripper on this one. Really, the cart should be on this tractor and the ripper on the Steiger, just because it's got more traction, but it's just not the way it worked out. And this tractor's got just as many ponies as the Steiger does, contrary to popular belief. So it does just fine. It just kind of runs out of traction every now and then. But we're gonna pack the machine sheds tight tonight, because it's supposed to set in raining and not stop for several days. So I'd say that's about as close as I'm comfortable getting them. That's mostly out of the weather. Like to take the best care of the equipment you can, but as you can see, that thing's filthy, so the rain might actually do it some good. But everything's packed in here tight. All we got left is the Steiger, and I believe every piece of equipment will be in a shed. And that rain is really coming down now. Well, the Steiger's in, and I forgot one very important piece of equipment. I set the auger on that grain bin and the top lid's open right now, so we're gonna get that shut ASAP, because I don't want a bunch of rain going in the grain bin, because corn doesn't typically like that. Well, everything is shut. All the lids are closed, all the bin fans are off at all umpteen bin sites. Here, the grain leg, the bean bins, a couple other miscellaneous bins. They're all shut, fans are off. I tell you what, this dust that accumulates up here and rain, it's mighty slick up here, but hey, I ain't here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. The fall, that's not what hurts, it's that sudden stop at the bottom. So we're climbing down one-handed, you know, doing it for the YouTube. All right, gonna put this old gal in a shed as well. Got the auger unhooked and lifted the swing away up where the water will drain out, not pool up in it. That's always a mess if you forget to do that. Drain bin shut. Ready to put this thing in the shed, close all the doors around here, shut the lights off, and take a hot shower, because this rain is a heck of a cold rain. It got really cold really quick when it started raining, and I am absolutely soaked to the bone. So we'll put this in the shop, and we're gonna call it a night. Not bad for a Sunday. You know what they say, everything's better when it's wet. you can see the paint fade on that Steiger compared to this one. Granted, that thing's a heck of a lot dirtier right now too, but we'll give her a good wash and wax and make her shine like this one. Just as soon as fall's over. Might even do it to the grain cart. It's time for bed. Now I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. They can be a pain to make sometimes, but you guys seem to be watching them still, so I'll keep making them. Like I said, just to summarize kind of where we're at, 15 acres left. I've got maybe probably 200 acres that I'd like to get ripped. And then like to run something over all the corn stalks, whether it's a vertical tillage tool, a disc, just something to just kind of chop them up, get them rotten. That combine will absolutely scoot. I'm running about 6 miles an hour in corn. The only downside to that, it's getting all the corn. It's not got head shell. It's not overloading the sieves. It's not throwing it out the back. It's doing a phenomenal job, other than the fact that it's leaving the corn stalks really tall, really stringy. I don't really like that. So I'd like to chop them up in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, other than that, gonna be hauling a lot of grain. Got some calves to catch. Got a few rambunctious ones that keep breaking fence. I've fixed fence I don't know how many mornings. They just keep going right through it. So they're about time to, it's about time they find another home and get rid of those calves. So I need to get them caught and hauled off. And then, yeah. Several little mechanical projects to get done around here. The 3-point hitch on the Steiger's not working right. I've got a leaky remote, the first remote on the Steiger, or on the Magnum. The little 105's got a front tire that keeps losing air. The grain truck needs new headlights. The combine needs a hydraulic leak fixed, and I think my AC fan is trying to crap out on me, so that needs some attention. The radio needs some attention in there too. I hit a bump and screwed something up with it. So the combine doesn't need too much. The bean head needs a little work on the platform. The corn head has 2 loose snapping rolls. I don't think the semi needs anything right now, knock on wood. And yeah, the more you have to take care of. But there's plenty to be done around here once harvest is over as well. Lots of grain to be hauled. And then the paperwork starts, tax time starts, and at some point the bank wants paid back. So that's always, you know, a recommendation that you pay your loans back at the end of the year. So gonna do that, market some grain, move a lot of grain, and go from there. So I hope you guys are enjoying the videos as harvest kind of comes to an end. I'll try and keep things fairly interesting. A lot of the jobs around here are gonna get kind of redundant. The shop around here, as you can see, I had it completely cleaned up before harvest, and it's completely trashed again. Half my tools are in the pickup, a quarter of them are in the shop, and the other quarter's scattered out between tractors and the combine and everything else. So I need to get them all back together in one place and organized of what goes where. A lot of my tools seem to be disposable, where wrenches walk off and such, but I've got a Snap-on wish list and a Harbor Freight budget, so that's kind of where I go with my tools, all over the place. So if I lose them, I'm not buying top dollar tools, so I'm not completely concerned about it. But so yeah, thank you guys for watching. It really does help me out. YouTube started to pay a bill or two around here, so that's been good, I guess. Never really thought I'd see the day that making videos would do that, but thank you guys for watching. I'll keep posting these videos. getting long-winded, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Here's a heck of a project. Gonna clean my truck. It's getting pretty rough, as you can see. It's seen some work, among other things this fall, so gonna give it a nice once over because it's definitely deserving of it.